One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of guys make within relationships is assuming total responsibility for their girl's emotional state. Now look, if we're completely honest with ourselves, as guys, we do find it difficult to see a woman upset, to see a woman cry. There's something within us internally, if you're not a piece of shit, that tells you to resolve the situation, that tells you to fix her issues. However, often when guys do this, they find themselves in a really difficult spot. For example, if a guy and his girl are having an argument and the girl has said something really, really disrespectful to the guy, she's completely stepped over the line, insulted him, maybe even sworn at him, called him a fucking asshole or something like that. And he says to her, "You can't be speaking to me like that. That's not the dynamic we have in this relationship. Please don't talk to me like that." And he gets mad, takes 5 minutes, and he comes back and she's crying and she's really upset and she's angry. What some guys do is they make the mistake of sort of conceding, and they will apologize for defending themselves because they feel some sense of responsibility for her pain, for her upset, despite it being nowhere near their fault. Gentlemen, if you're finding yourself in a situation whereby you have genuinely done nothing wrong and your partner is upset, you got to leave her to be upset. If she's disrespected you in some way and she's upset that you have tried to instill or enforce a boundary, then that's her problem. She's a big girl. She's gonna be okay. But one of the worst things that you can do, and I'll be honest, I made this mistake in my earlier days of dating and relationships. I just felt this internal responsibility to fix situations. Oh, she's crying. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. What can I do to make it better? It's the complete opposite direction that you want to be going, guys. The reality is, especially if she has said something really smart to you or said something really disrespectful to you, it's not your responsibility to regulate her emotions. She's an adult. She's a big girl. That's her responsibility. And guys find themselves in this really difficult spot where their girl is now really comfortable disrespecting him because she knows really that she can do what she wants. All she's got to do is produce a few crocodile tears and then he's on side like a little lapdog. He'll apologize even though he's done nothing wrong. And look, most women won't do this. I prefer to look at things from a positive approach. I do believe that most women would not do this, but there definitely are some women that will take advantage of this. And they have these guys wrap round their little finger. They produce a few crocodile tears and the guy's saying, "Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to check you. I didn't mean to get angry at you for you calling me a fucking retard. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me for standing up for myself." And these guys are having a hard time. A hard time. The reality is, compensating for the truth, compensating your boundaries just to make your girl happy or to try and be a nice guy and get on side with her isn't good for her or for you. You're going to reinforce to her that sort of behavior can get her what she wants. And then you're going to have to deal with the responsibilities or the consequences of that. Every time, she says something sharp to you and you get angry and you let her know that you're not happy, all she's got to do is produce a few tears and all of a sudden it's your fault and you're the guy that caused the problem. You are the one that made her upset. No, sometimes, guys, you have to learn, allow her to be upset. She's a big girl. She's not going to die. She's going to be upset for a little while, and most times she'll come round. If she's done something disrespectful and you know, if there's something really out of pocket, guys, I'd always recommend taking a step back from the relationship, because there's certain things that you just cannot tolerate. But if it's something that you feel you can forgive, take a bit of space. Get away from that situation. The worst thing you want to be doing is apologizing for standing up for yourself. You've got nothing to apologize for. She should be the one apologizing to you if she said something disrespectful to you. Now, it's also the same on the opposite side of the fence, you know. Try not to fall into the trap, guys, of watching too much red pill and turning into a red capsule yourself and thinking that, you know, one thing for her, another thing for you. No. If you're disrespectful to her and you've said something out of pocket and you know you have, be a man, stand up, apologize. That's part of masculinity. Being authentic when you know you've done something wrong and you know you've been disrespectful and you've not represented yourself well, do the thing that you would expect her to do if it were on the other foot. But look, I remember when I was younger making this sort of mistake, because I grew up watching the same films that you guys watched. You sort of put women on this pedestal, especially in the emotional regard, because you want to protect them, you want to look after them. But the reality is, guys, you cannot put yourself in a position of responsibility for somebody else's emotional needs, especially so when it is actually their fault. Especially so when there is a conflict between you and they are the one that sort of broke the contract of how you are going to speak to each other or how you're going to behave towards each other. It's not on you to then fix that problem and stop her from being sad. She's sad because she should be. She's sad because she doesn't like being told off. But honestly, guys, the reality is she wants you to tell her off. She don't want you to be horrible to her. She don't want you to be abusive to her. This is not the direction I'm going in. But she wants to know that she is with a guy who she can't talk to like complete shit. She wants to know she's with a guy that has a bit of a spine, that has a bit of a backbone. Never shouting really loudly and getting aggressive and in her face. I'll never condone that behavior, but she wants to know she's with a guy that respects himself. And a form of self-respect within relationships is having the ability to stick to your guns. You know, if she has disrespected you and she's treating you in a way that is not how you should roll, then don't be afraid to allow her to be upset for a little while. She's a big girl. She's gonna be okay. It's not your responsibility. And on the flip side, as I said, if you have been disrespectful to her, make sure you do the same thing that you would expect her to do. You got to apologize. You've got to be a man. But look, I hope you took some value from this video today. And I hope that if you're finding yourself, you know, in this situation, that you now have a little bit more ammunition. You have some more tools at your disposal to sort of get yourself out of a dark situation, because this can be very difficult for a lot of guys. And a hard reality is that it's very difficult in a relationship if a culture of disrespect has been affirmed by a man for him to turn that relationship around. Because in most instances, the woman already feels like she can get whatever she wants from this guy. She already feels like she's in control. And it's very hard to turn that around. So if you're finding yourself in a relationship where you are a victim of this, I'll say it how it is, you are a victim of your girl using her emotions in a narcissistic way, I would always recommend to you, I don't know you, I don't know your personal situation, but if I just look at it for how it is, I'd always recommend it for you to get out of that relationship. To get out of that relationship. And in the next one, learn from your mistakes. There's 4 billion women on the planet, man. You're not going to be single forever. Don't be so scared to leave a bad relationship where you're being mistreated. But I wouldn't tolerate that if I were you. It's not something that's going to serve you or indeed them very well. because women don't want that type of power, and women don't want to feel like they're with a guy that doesn't respect himself. So start respecting yourself, and hopefully some of this can be taken on board. Anyway, guys, look, if you took some value from this video today, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. If you want to hop on a one-to-one call with me, work with me one-to-one, the link is down below in the description of this video. As always, guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.